When you think about money, you've probably got a story you're playing in your head. When you think about really wealthy people, think about your childhood. And you're gonna think about, was the wealthy person in your neighborhood where they looked at and aspired to, or were they demonized for their success? And so most of us have that story, and we got it from our friends, our family, people around us in our childhood, and that story probably anchors with you. You think about your family now, do you talk about money at the dinner table, or do you not, right? I think for me, growing up, it was that money was demonized. If you were really successful, you tricked people and did something to get it. So a part of my framing was realizing that wealthy people, it wasn't a bad thing. It wasn't something to be afraid of. And actually the really, really wealthy people I know give more money and do more good and are able to help more people because of the success that we had. So money's not a bad thing, but we definitely all have a story we have to work through about how we're thinking about money. So if you haven't had money before and you get successful and you come into money, will people start treating you differently? Yeah, they will. When they figure out that you've got money, you become successful, you're gonna have maybe some friends, maybe some long lost relatives reach out and need help. And so I have one rule, I don't lend money to friends or family. I'll give a gift that I do not want to be repaid. So they may look at you differently, but it's not your job to help everyone else in their life. Help them with, recommend a book, help with a budget. And if you need to buy someone a meal or whatever you can afford to give to them, by all means, if that's helping them in the current moment a little bit, sure. Just make sure when you're helping others, you're not enabling them and creating a future problem. They're not actually going out and doing the work and solving the problems themselves. Today, there's so many different ways that we can make money, right? From Postmates to Instacart to Uber. So I typically, when I see people in a tough situation, they're out of money, it's not that there's a lack of resources, there's a lack of resourcefulness. So maybe the best thing you could do would be to help them, aim them in a way where they could go solve the problem on their own and give them some ideas on how to do it. Everybody's got a fear of typically either success or failure. Some people are worried like, oh, I don't want to be successful because there's this other thing out there, I'll become this different person. They almost have a fear and negative around becoming successful. And then other people have a total fear of failure. So they become really successful and they're worried like, what happens if I lose all my money and I'm back where I started? I think the truth is the more wealthy you become and the more you can take the success that you have and reduce it to the actions that you took. Start thinking about, what did you do with the money? How did you create the success? And if it was all stripped away, would you be able to do it again because you found a duplicatable model and something you understand? I really believe right now that for me, if all my money was stripped away and I was right back at ground zero, I could rebuild it all much faster actually the second time because I already know what I did. I also know all the things that didn't work, and the knowledge is actually much more valuable than the money because the money's great, but with the knowledge, I can go do it again and again and again and again.